Whoa! Hello there. How'd you get in my fridge? Sorry, I had to test this out. All these YouTubers be putting their camera in their cabinets, starting their vlogs that way. Just had to try it. I'm gonna take you out of here. So today, I'm gonna be showing you what's inside that fridge and what's inside the freezer. Not to spoil you, but not much is in my fridge. I am not kidding. Everything is usually stored in my freezer. Why? Because I eat mostly meat. I'm gonna do my best here. So welcome to my fridge. This does not look like a fridge, but everything is so modernized nowadays that my fridge looks like my cabinets. So actually, it is my fridge. Bang! So as we take a look in my fridge, let me open it. I wasn't lying when I told you it's empty. But let's go through everything. I'm just learning now that my tripod does not go very high, so bear with me. But let's start with the side door. So, I usually never have this. So don't think I drink this. I just happened to stumble into the grocery store one day before the gym and thought I needed a little bit of a kick, so I bought some maple water. Basically all it is organic maple water. For 1.5 cups, it's only 9 grams of carbs. So, maple syrup. What? Izzy, I thought you only eat meat. Well, not really, no. When I do add carbs, it's usually from fast digesting carbs that don't upset my stomach. So usually it's maple syrup or molasses or sometimes even honey. But maple syrup has to be refrigerated. And yes, in Canada, we eat the real stuff. So this is organic, 100% pure. Yes, it's in plastic, not ideal, but it is quite cheaper. Not that I usually take the cheap option, but I can't avoid everything. Next, let's do this. So this is coconut kefir. I recently just started adding this. I've been eating it for about a week because I didn't really want to test. This fridge is yapping at me. There we go. So I didn't want to test like goat or milk kefir because I didn't know if it would upset my stomach. Whereas coconut kefir, I used to have this 3 years ago, I think. And I really enjoyed it. So all this is it's coconut milk and kefir cultures. Not sure if it's showing there, but it feels like it's been working. Helps my digestion a little bit. I really just take a scoop or two a day before meals, and it acts like a probiotic. So there's 500,000 probiotics in this jar, and I have to go get more because she's getting empty. Next, ghee. This is another thing I've been testing for the last month. Again, I used to have this years and years ago, and I enjoyed it. And this, I can't eat cow dairy or drink cow dairy, but this, since it's clarified butter, all the solids, the milk solids are removed, so there's no whey, there's no casein, it's just the milk fat, pretty much. So this is New Zealand grass-fed. I always get good quality. It's quite yellow. I like it because when I have butter, I find it kind of does make me a little bloated. And ghee, I can taste it more. Whereas butter, I just find I can never taste it. Anything I'm eating it with is just kind of masked by the things I'm eating it with. So, save the best for last. These are ketones, KetoneIQ. I've had these on and off for the last couple years, and the last few weeks I've been having it pretty much every morning before my morning workouts, especially fasted endurance ones. It's working wonders. It just it doesn't make me hungry, gets me through my workouts. I actually am an ambassador for them, so I'm affiliated with them. If you want a 30% off discount code, use IZZY30. It's also linked in my bio. Honestly, they seem a little bit expensive, but I've tried other ketones before, like Delta G, which basically one small bottle like this is the same price as a big bottle like this, and you only take one shot of it. So there's 10 servings in this whole bottle. So each line on there is one serving, but I usually measure out 35 milliliters when I have it. So this, it absolutely tastes atrocious. So don't say I didn't warn you. It's disgusting. Up here, we have some probiotics. I never take these, maybe like once or twice a month. It's just Saccharomyces boulardii. This is the only probiotic that I find sits well with my stomach. It's a yeast-based probiotic. Not much to say, it's just a probiotic. Now let's dive deeper into the fridge. So, these are whipped tallow bites. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know I make whipped tallow. I basically just take tallow, whip it up with a hand mixer. It takes no time at all, and then I just put it in these ice cube trays. And sometimes I put them in the freezer or the fridge. So right now they're in the fridge. This, my friends, shocker, little tiny bit leftover ground beef. I don't like to waste any food. This is homemade chicken flour. If you watched my last YouTube video, you saw some chicken in there. I basically dehydrated it and then blended it up, and I'll add that with maybe some egg whites or white rice flour, and it makes a bit of a bread-like substance. Next up, we have eggs. Now let's talk a little bit about these eggs. So these eggs are duck eggs. They are absolutely massive. They're like 2 to 1 of a chicken egg. So really, I'm testing out the eggs right now because I haven't had them for quite some time. I removed them and eliminated them from my diet because I found they were upsetting my stomach. Now I'm just testing them again because I miss them. They're so versatile. You can really make so many things with them. It'd spice up my life a little bit other than just ground beef. I tested the egg yolks. I found they sat okay. And right now I'm just testing a little bit of egg whites. So I separate the whites from the yolks. And right now I'm just having like little bits at a time instead of going kapam all out and making a huge massive omelet. So it's going okay. Going okay. Hopefully it keeps going. My dream is to have about 5 eggs scrambled in a bowl with cheese. Okay. So delicious. So delicious. This is beef tallow. Beef tallow is beef fat. So when you cook ground beef, you know the fat left over. It's basically what tallow is. It's just rendered beef fat. Moving on up to the top shelf. I've been testing a lot lately, so I've been having Pecorino Romano. The difference between Pecorino Romano and Parmigiano Reggiano this is made from sheep's milk. So the good thing about hard cheeses is they're usually raw or unpasteurized. Focus, camera, focus. So it's unpasteurized sheep's milk. I've only been having a little bit at a time. Sometimes I'll grate it onto my ground beef, but I quite enjoy it. Reminds me of like pasta. It reminds me of eating pasta as a little child. So this box, you're probably like, what's that box? I don't know why I left it in the box, but it's just the other bottle of KetoneIQ. So the box comes with 3. It comes with this pamphlet that tells you a little bit about the ketones. You're probably like, oh, it makes sense why you're so small, you don't eat anything. Believe me, I eat a lot. A lot. Then up at the top here, see, I don't even know where I'm pointing. Up at the top here, so if you remember when I did my ultra, if you watched that video, I made homemade maple syrup gels, and I still have them kicking in my fridge, because if I ever ramp up my training again quite significantly, I'm gonna have these. So it's always nice to have pre-made gels that's just maple syrup. I still find it hard to look at maple syrup after that ultra, because after about 2 hours in, I just didn't want to see maple syrup ever again in my life. Now, I never keep anything down here in the drawers, because I don't eat fruits and veggies. And I actually never put my meat down there. I'll usually put my meat there if it's thawing. But you can see there is something in here. BPN. So when I did the ultra, we got a bunch of snacks and freebies. So I just have stuff kicking around in here that I haven't actually eaten. So maybe I will have them one day. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. But I'm not too concerned about it. So that is part number 1. That's the fridge. Now, prepare yourselves for a very full freezer, because it's nothing like the fridge. Forgot to put the eggs back in. I'm gonna do my best here to show you what's in my freezer, but it's a little bit of organized chaos, and it's not too exciting because it's a lot of it's just ground beef or steak or ground beef. Okay. As we go into the bottom drawer, as you can see, it's a lot of just ground beef. This is where I keep the bulk of my meat. I have some eye-brown roast, which is what I use to make beef jerky. I have more ground beef, grass-fed, grass-finished Australian ground beef. I have some Wagyu beef burgers. A little bit of Sammy here, salmon, coho salmon. And I'm pretty sure there's some picanha steaks in there somewhere, buried down, deep down. As we go into the middle shelf, ice cubes, good old beef fat. So when I showed you the tallow before, this is what beef fat looks like. So that's beef fat. A lot of times I'll crisp it up. A lot of times I'll crisp it up in my air fryer. This is Thanksgiving dinner for next week. Prime rib roast. I treated myself for prime rib roast. Never had one. Had rib eyes, but not the actual rib roast. This is frozen beef tallow. Some ice packs when I injure myself, like always. This is usually homemade beef sausages that I get. I do have a little bit of heart in here, bison heart to be exact, but it's all just custom-made beef sausages that I get from this certain butcher around here. All it is it's grass-fed beef, not even any salt, because I add my own salt, and it's in a pork casing. And then way at the back here is beef bacon. Try to open it. It's beef bacon. Bacon made from beef, nothing else. A little bit of salt. Pretty sure they smoke it too. So that is shelf numero 2. You know, I actually used to be in French immersion. And it'd be like, Je m'appelle Isabelle. Do not call me Isabelle. Last section. Just a little bit of here and there things. Let me stand up. This is frozen bone broth. I just put it in ice cubes and then I'll add it into some ground beef or anything, or defrost it in a mug. This is beef liver that I have to cut and thaw. This is smoked salmon. It's honestly pretty much it. I think I have some cod back there, some scallops. It's more my seafood section. And that's the freezer. Interesting, isn't it? So lastly, to finish off the video, I just wanted to show you some products I use that I'm actually affiliated with, so I have a discount for. So yes, this is a hashtag ad. So I usually am very selective with what products I use and which companies I work with. Really, I only work with 4 companies right now. I tried using this to hold up the Carnivore Bar. Didn't really work. Let's put it inside. So we'll just start with this one. Carnivore Bar is a company I have been working with for the last 2.5 years. You might have seen this in other videos, so some of these might be repetitive. So the Carnivore Bar is grass-fed, grass-finished beef and grass-finished tallow. So you saw in my fridge I have beef and I also have tallow. So when those things are combined together, that's what makes a Carnivore Bar. Yes, I could make it by myself, and sometimes I do. When you make it by yourself, it's called pemmican. But sometimes I'm lucky enough they give me these for free when I'm training hard for a race, but I haven't had them in a long time. I do have one right here, but that was because, if you really want to know, I sent my mom a box of Carnivore Bars for her birthday. And then she just sent me a box for Thanksgiving, and she put her last one in there for me, so that is why I have one in my hand right now. And I'm just deciding on when I should eat it. So they are a great company. They're in the States only. I'm not gonna lie, they're crazy, mad expensive. But if you have the money and if you like investing in your health and you want to kind of treat yourself to some sort of packaged food, then these are a great option. They're great for traveling. because sometimes it is a bit tricky to bring meat, especially if you're traveling internationally. So grass-fed, grass-finished beef and tallow. The beef is dehydrated, so it is shelf stable. And code ISSY10, also linked below. Next, as you saw in the fridge, is KetoneIQ. So I've been wanting to work with this company for years now. Not years, probably a year. I finally ordered it and loved it and became affiliated with them. So the term ketone is thrown out quite a bit. Usually when you do the keto diet, your body produces ketones, which means you're burning fat as fuel. So KetoneIQ is a very clean energy source. There's no sugar, no caffeine. It's basically just giving your body a different macronutrient, which is ketones. So there actually is calories in ketones. Per serving, it is 70 calories, but it has 10 grams of ketones. So if you think about ketones as another macronutrient in addition to protein, fat, and carbs, that's basically what this is. So it's a very clean energy source. It's just good for energy, focus, athletic performance, and especially appetite control. I do really recommend trying this. I'm not just saying that. It's something that is really improving my performance and my mental clarity lately, because that's something I struggle with certain health issues and autoimmune issues I have. All the chronic fatigue it's quite draining. So having something like this gives me a nice boost. They also sent me ketone with caffeine. So these are shots. I don't even think I've opened them yet. So as I struggle to open these, this is what they look like. It's good. It's almost like an energy gel. You can take it while you run. You can take it before you run. You can take it with coffee. You can take it really anytime. These big bottles also come in smaller versions like this, but you do save money if you buy the big bottles. So check it out. They're called KetoneIQ. And if you want to save 30% off, use code ISSY30. Last product I use is Equip Foods Prime Protein. So this has honestly saved and changed my life, because when I first got into fitness when I was 15, 16, I loved my protein shakes. I don't know what it was, something about the cold taste, the nice flavor, just felt refreshing after a workout. And then when I removed all of my protein powders, maybe 5 years ago, it was just kind of felt like I was just craving something cold after my workouts. And then I stumbled across this thanks to social media and Instagram. And it almost tastes, I find, a little bit like peanut butter, depending on what you add to it. So I'll usually add ice, water, either molasses, honey, or maple syrup, scoop of this, and just blend it up. Oh, and MCT oil. Blend it up. It's probably the cleanest protein you can get out there other than 100% pure whey isolate with nothing added. It's seriously just grass-fed beef protein. It mixes well. It digests very well. There's nothing added. You can buy ones with stevia that are flavored. Maybe it's chocolate, strawberry, mocha, you name it. But if you want to save 15% off, use my link in the description below. You can really add it to anything. I know a lot of people get really creative and make pancakes with them, with eggs and whatnot, and that's something I hope to do if I can start fully adding eggs again. But these three products are the products I use quite frequently in terms of affiliation, and I also do work with the Power Puck, but I haven't been able to get them for a while just because shipping is crazy expensive to Canada. Perks of living in Canada. You get real maple syrup, but you can't get anything else. So I'm in the works with maybe a couple other companies, but it's kind of undecided right now. If you want to try anything, like I said, use the link below. Oh, before I forget, one thing I have been experimenting with is because if you saw in my fridge, I'm experimenting with a lot of foods right now. I want to show you something. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I have a sourdough starter called Bubba. Bubba was in a mason jar for the first few days, and then she grew some hair on the edges of the mason jar. So then I was like, oh, you know, sometimes people just need a new environment to thrive in. So I put her in this glass container. Look at Bubba now. Look at the bubbles. So the reason I'm showing this is because it will be going in my fridge soon, once the starter is fully complete. So right now I'm at day 5. But this is just white rice flour, organic white rice flour. A little bit of bacterial starter culture that I bought. And I'm hoping to make some white rice sourdough bread. Top it with some ghee. So follow my Bubba journey. Follow me on Instagram. Hope you found something valuable today. My fridge is not very exciting. My freezer is not very exciting. But simple is effective. A lot of people think you have to go all out, buy all these crazy ingredients, fruits, vegetables, milk, cheese, you name it. But I just like to keep it simple. Simplifies my life, lowers my stress, and I just enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, as all the YouTubers say. And let me know if you like my videos, because I'm enjoying doing them quite a bit. So stay tuned for the next one. See ya. Oh, I'm thirsty.